Rihanna has finally spoken out about what Jay-Z did to her when she was just 17 years old, and the details are far more upsetting than you might think. For years, there have been rumors that he and Rihanna had an intimate relationship when she was just 17, and that he later infected her with an STD, which she then gave to Chris Brown and Travis Scott. To make matters worse, all of this is happening at the same time that he is being sued for allegedly gang raping a 13-year-old at a party, which is really giving Diddy too. It was brought up a few days ago when Jay and Diddy were sued for allegedly having a sexual relationship with a 13-year-old girl. As you may recall, there were rumors that Jay had made Rihanna his side piece when she was just 17 years old, shortly after she signed a record deal with Big Jam Records. The rumor about the affair was started by Rihanna's publicist at the time, and it was made much worse when Rihanna herself recalled how Jay would lock her up in his office until 3 in the morning.
Jay-Z, tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
Yes.
But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it whole
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you met Beyonce.
That's right.
How was it like meeting her?
I could not speak.
Really?
Really. That's someone I really looked up to for a long time. And it was after one of my showcases, and he was introducing me to everyone from the label. Then he finally said, okay, one more person. And there she was. And I could not speak.
And she gave you some advice.
Yes, she did. She just told me to, when I get on stage, let loose, have fun, and be in control.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to let it go.
No.
Because she'd be like, what? You know how she does it. But we're going to be hooking up the whole audience with your CD.
Oh, thank you.
However, Jay-Z wielded his influence to defuse the situation before it escalated further. The publicist who revealed the details of the affair then mysteriously backtracked, saying that he made it all up in an attempt to promote Rihanna's first single, Ponder Replay. He claimed that the PR stunt he did was desperate to help break Pond Replay, saying that it was reckless and that he didn't think it was going to work, that he was just throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what would stick. However, many people did not believe this because they thought Jay forced the publicist to do it. To deny the claims, but when a video of adult film star Haley Dean making grave claims that Rihanna gave Travis Scott sexually transmitted diseases reappeared, the accusations became even more severe. In the video, Haley said that Rihanna was having an affair with her boss, a millionaire king in Africa, and that she also gave him an STD. Rihanna supposedly contracted chlamydia from Jay, and she has been spreading the infection ever since. The millionaire king in question apparently traveled back to Africa and gave her some of the chlamydia he had infected.
They say you look like Rihanna.
She hates me.
Why?
Because I worked with her a few years ago on, this is when she had her foundation. Right before she launched her what was it at that time? That
Fenty?
But no, I think it was before the Fenty, because it was whatever Kylie came out with. They all went in cahoots. They were all arguing with each other, and that was when Kim came out with her line, Kylie came out with her line. But Rihanna had this foundation back in 2015, and it was her white gala, and that was when she kind of like was sponsored on med beds, high tech, all that. Well, I helped fundraise her gala here in Hollywood. Well, she was my boss and gave my boss chlamydia. And here I am, the alleged. Yeah, I am but everyone thought that I was the one my boss, and in all reality, it was this. And so it just literally got to the point where all that came out that she got him sick, that because he was married. He's can you put your seatbelt on? Or behind you? You don't have to put it on, but behind you. He's a king, or he's a prince in Africa. And so he came out here back in 2013, worked with Global Canvasser, which was a nonprofit, and then worked with UNICEF in the United Nations. That's where I got on, and I was able to partner with UNICEF in the United Nations. So I lived out in Australia for a little bit working with this corporation. Well,
Haley wasn't done with the accusations yet. She also claimed that Rihanna had spread her chlamydia to Travis Scott. Hasidah Schlossman, one of the publishers of Complex magazine, decided to be very messy and spilled the tea about how Travis begged him not to publish his relationship with Rihanna. But he went on to announce it anyway, which caused some tension between him and Rihanna. Travis had previously dated Rihanna, but he kept the relationship a secret for the most part, and people think it's because of the sexually transmitted disease Rihanna allegedly gave him. Travis and Rihanna, they told me about him and Rihanna, and I broke the news. Not because he's telling people not to tell anyone that he's smashing Rihanna, but rather because Rihanna saying telling people that I'm crushing on Travis Scott is obviously embarrassing. But that's not all of you. Haley claimed that when Travis contracted the STD, he left Rihanna and returned to Kylie, indicating that she most likely contracted it as well. This isn't the first time Rihanna has been charged with spreading the STD that Jay-Z reportedly gave her a few years ago. Additionally, Jaguar Wright accused her of catching an STD from Jay and spreading it to Chris Brown. It seems that Chris was aware that Jay was having an affair with Rihanna, but he reached a breaking point when she infected him with the STD. According to Jaguar, Chris became furious with Rihanna that night because of the virus. Not only did she infect Chris, but when he confronted her at Davis' place to discuss the matter, he witnessed her having another. She is purportedly sucking the man's soul with her D in her mouth. Jaguar said that in order to keep the truth from being revealed, Jay and Rihanna made the decision to completely alter the tale and provide a whole new version of events.
Had that outbreak and he busted in the Davis's house and said, "Where the f is this dirty Jack?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes. And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent because she was in there giving that blow in the closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "You always f***ing something." Then he said, "I'm f***ing done with you," and he stormed out of Chris' house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Chris' house the night before the Grammys. She in the car trying to fuck him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her. Because Lord knows He couldn't get away from the herpes.
Oh.
And he hit her back. Calm down. And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19.
My.
Because he got set up with a that was in a who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri. And then they sat there and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk about that little boy. And then they put together that whole sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America hated him for defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's sexy as and she's pure, and she has all of my respect when it comes to the whole game. But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
And in case y'all...
Additionally, just in case you're curious about where Jaguar obtained this tea, I was at the party that night and witnessed everything that happened, she said.
The situation.
That's what the happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last kiss the pinky ring party I ever went to.
As previously stated, the primary reason why this has been brought up again is because the woman who filed the current lawsuit against Diddy and Jay claims that they sexually assaulted her when she was 13 and was driven by Diddy's bodyguard to an after party that Diddy hosted following the 2000 BNS. There, she drank a few glasses of alcohol that were later found to be laced. After she went to one of the rooms to rest and sober up, Diddy and Jay allegedly entered and took turns sexually assaulting her. At one point, Diddy even attempted to coerce her into giving him a fellatio, but she managed to flee and ran to a gas station to call her father, who was able to drive to the scene to pick her up. Many individuals hold this belief because they thought it was comparable to what Jay was accused of doing to numerous other people, including, as usual, people had different opinions about Rihanna. For example, one person said, "Isn't Jay-Z the same person who threatened to throw an underage Rihanna out of a window if she didn't sign to his label?" Another person said, "So she was flown to another country and told she either got to sign or put out the window, and yo grown people just let it slide." Now, I'd like to know what you think about Jay-Z being exposed for allegedly touching Rihanna too, and do you really think Rihanna should come out and spill the tea about everything he's done to her? Don't forget to click here to watch this other extremely messy video.